Hi, I'm Ash from Training and Inspection Services, and we provide self-paced e-learning courses in API 510, Pressure Vessel Inspector, 570, 71, 77, 80, 653, 1169, SIFE, and SIRE. And for each one of them, we have two options, the full course and the mock exam package. I'm going to go through some of the sample free quizzes that we offer, but before that, uh, let me show you what we have on the table to offer. So we got 12 modules. Module 1 is basic facts and the benchmark quiz that I'm going through. um, Module 2, we have body of knowledge and scoring area, and then NDT comprehensive set with flashcards, and ASME section 9 welding engineering, that includes procedure, qualification, materials, WPS, WPQ, flashcards, and practice questions. And then API 77 welding inspection, and then we'll go through damage mechanism and corrosion. We made it very extensive because many candidates face difficulties. As you can see, there are a lot of practice questions and flashcards. And then ASME section 8 construction code, and we have it by topic, by part number, with flashcards and practice questions. And then pressure vessel inspection practice 572, 4 sets of flashcards and practice question, and the all important 510 pressure vessel inspection code, and with flashcards and practice question. And then we have pressure relieving devices and PMI 576 and 78. And then we have a whopping 24 sets of flashcards here, and then 5 sets of exam with timing. So an overview, you get 8 hours of video, 24 flashcards, sets of flashcards, 32 lessons, 1300 questions. The mock exam package, the lessons are not there, but you have flashcards and the questions. And it is, if you we haven't had any candidates fail so far, but if you fail, you have two options. You can get another free 4 months access, or you can refund your money in case you don't want to continue. And this is a 4 months 24/7 course access, and we have explained what you get here on the course content. So let's go and see some of our quizzes. We made a percentage was here, but the mock exam are timed according to the exam. Quizzes and practice question are not. So we try to make the same atmosphere, and we have also explained the answer, why that one is the correct answer and the other one is wrong answer. So let's start with question 1. Which of the following types of discontinuities is not normally detected by radiography? Now, radiography is sensitive to volume because of the ray passes through it. So if you got a discontinuity, because the discontinuity normally is less dense than the base metal, so more rays pass through and you see that place darker. So that shows you the discontinuity. Cracks still have some volume, not much, but you still can see the cracks. Incomplete penetration as well, and a snag as well. They've got space. But lamination is the one that doesn't have any space. It's two layer of metal not fused together. That's what lamination is. And normally use UT lamination check for it. That's the best way to do that. And API 510 shall not be used as a substitute for original construction of pressure vessel before it's placed to service. So shall not be used, because one of the scope of API 510 is after it's placed into service the pressure vessel, not before it. Before that, it should comply with the construction code, say ASME section 8 or other acceptable ones. So compared to ASTM 515 grade 60 plate, the 516 grade 60 plate have, if you look at this, both have 60. So that 60 means their allowable tensile strength. So it's same here. So that's not the answer. And the 516 has actually better toughness. Who establishes inspection interval for thickness measurement in external visual inspection? So it's the owner or the inspector. That's the answer. Because eventually the owner is responsible for the safe operation of the vessel. ASME section 8 division 1 is based on a factor of safety equal to 3.5. Now previously it was 4, but with better manufacturing and quality it was reduced to 3.5. Identify incorrect statement. Okay, a welder performing procedure test is also qualified in that position. That's correct. Supplementary essential becomes essential when impact test is specified. So that's as well correct. For procedure qualification, the test can be performed in any position as the position is not essential variable for welding procedure qualification. That's correct. The wrong answer is WPS and WPQ have the same qualification requirements. That's not true because the purpose of WPS and WPQ is different. WPS is to demonstrate that the weld joint has got the characteristic as designed. So you have a tensile test on that. For WPQ, you want to demonstrate that the welder actually has got the skill to deposit a sound weld. So here you do a bend test or a radiography, and that's why the qualification requirements are different, because the purpose of these are different. In plate specification of A516 grade 70, the letter A, it is always ferrous metal. It's not for ASME or anything. A is for ferrous metal. And the symbol which indicates ASME code stamping or vessel manufactured to section 8 division 1 is U stamp. Now U1 is the form that the main manufacturer, pressure vessel manufacturer, fills in. U2 is the partial manufacturer that fills in the form, and U is the stamp. There is no U3. What will be the applicable mandatory addition addenda to ASME section 8 division 1 to be used if contract for manufacturing a vessel was signed on 14 December 2011? Now, any new revision is applicable 6 months after the publication. So here in this case, because December 2011, it would be 2011 edition. The term E used in shell thickness formula in ASME section 8 division 1 represent weld joint efficiency, whose value is equal to 1 if longitudinal and circumferential welds are radiographed for their entire length. Longitudinal welds are radiographed for their entire length, and circumferential welds are spot radiographs. Now, this is more onerous than this, and this is the minimum. The second answer is the minimum that is specified by ASME section 8. You need to go to a UW3, and because longitudinal welds are almost goes twice the stress, the hoop stress also is included here, and they go twice as much stress as a circumferential weld in a pressure vessel that applies pressure obviously uniformly all over, but because of the location of the joint they undergo twice the stress, and that's why they are fully radiographed, whereas circumferential welds should be radiographed, should be spot radiographs, and still they both have the joint efficiency 1 because they got the same thickness, but because of their location. So The answer is both A and B. A restoration work by weld overlay was carried out on corroded wall of vessel, and it can now be used as per design condition of the vessel. This activity is termed as repair. So there is no renewal, there is either repair or alteration. Re-rating means if you're changing the output parameter, for example, you're decreasing the pressure because the thickness has decreased, or you're increasing the temperature, or so that means re-rating, or increasing the pressure for that case. Now if you decrease the pressure, that's called derating actually. Now repair means you're restoring something to its original condition. Alteration, when there is a change in a major change that affects the design calculation or design input, so the vessel engineer should be involved. The repair should be approved by the inspector, whereas alteration should be approved by both the inspector and the engineer, vessel engineer. In certain empty check, you found the discontinuity was 4 millimeter, but after measuring it, say with a magnifying glass, or more accurately, suppose it turned out to be 2.5 millimeter. Now, if the acceptance criteria was 3 millimeter, so what you should do you revert your decision? You actually don't do that, because if you do that, then all your previous examination need to be repeated with the same. So, and also remember that the way you measure is one of the essential parameters of the procedure. So you're actually changing the procedure. So you don't go to all this trouble, even though later on it found out to be less than the acceptance criteria could be accepted, but because you used it with a visual check, or with some type of other measurement that's supposed to be 4 millimeter, then you still stand your verdict and you reject it. ASME code requires averaging of impact test value of how many specimens? 3. This is a straightforward question the inspector should know. And here the criteria is the average should not be less than the required average, the value of impact test, and none of them should be less than 2/3 of the minimum average. We have brought this in some practical type of questions, sorry, the open book type of questions, calculations, if you buy our package. Stainless steel weld has a crack open to the surface, so which NDT method will reveal it most effectively? Now, stainless steel cannot be magnetized. It's not ferromagnetic, so you cannot use magnetic particle. You might use radiography and UT, but liquid penetrant is more is easier to find, it's cheaper to find, it's quicker. So you usually use this method, liquid penetrant. And if it's open to surface, normally you have a trouble with that. PQR document normally may be revised and resubmitted for acceptance. That's false, because PQR document is practically a set of tensile tests, there is any impact test, any chemical composition, anything that is required. So these are factual record. So you can't really revise them. You may revise a WPS, but not a PQR. Obviously, minor cosmetic, typo mistakes or that sort of thing can be revised, but nothing major. Hot tapping is a technique of fixing an off tap on drain nozzle of pressure vessel. The technique of providing a tapping connection while the system is in operation. So tapping is while in operation you provide a tapping connection. That's called hot tapping. Which of the following represent grouping of weldment in ASME section 9? Now, P numbers is the grouping for base metal, F number for filler metal or consumables, and A is for the weldment. Remember that A, the weldment, is not filler alone. It's a mixture of filler and base metal. So it's practically another type of material. It's not exactly the filler, it's not exactly the base metal, because once the filler is melted, it also melts the base metal and it creates a new material actually, practically. So P number is base, grouping for base metal, F for filler metal, and A for weldment. An inspector should be stricter while carrying inspection on longitudinal joints. Remember we said that they actually, due to hoop stress, they undergo twice of the stress of a circumferential joint within the same pressure vessel because of their location. And you can look at the UW3 and UW12 in ASME section 8. PT examination is used to detect surface cracks in welds as well as in base metals. For proper detection, we should allow higher penetrant time on base metal or plates than welds, because welds, they are jagged and the base metal is smooth, so it takes more time for penetrant to seep in and soak out. Whereas on weld, because the profile is distorted, it goes quickly through that. And if you go to ASME section 5, on the article 6, I think, about PT, you can see the dwell time is more for base metal than weld metal. The last question, as per ASME section 8, division 1, weld joint category means location of the weld. So the category means where the weld is actually located. It doesn't mean type of weld joint or type of weld or whatever. Now, in order for you to see the result, you just need to put in your email and your name, and you can view the results and see how you have done. And as you can see, I made 19 points out of 20 points, and you can see whatever is ticked and you answered, it's green means you answered correctly. And we also put the reason why this is the right answer here, for example. So let's go through and see what mistake I made. So practically, because it says according to the ASME section 8 division 1, whose value is equal to 1 if. So because this is correct, so you really don't need to go that far. Obviously, you don't have both A and B, none of the above, all of the above, that sort of answer in API. So I intentionally made it so you put a wrong answer, because I wanted you to know that to read the question more carefully here. So the minimum requirement according to ASME is that the longitudinal radiograph for entire length and circumferential are spot radiographs. Thank you for watching, guys, and you can also see our first module for free. If you have any query, you can write to us, contact us form, or you can use our WhatsApp and send us a text message, or even you can call us. Thank you for watching.